All right, before any upper body workout, shoulders, back, biceps, triceps, you need to get everything loosened up, warmed up in the upper body. So I like to start with just a couple of basic range of motion things standing, get a couple things on the ground, kind of hit all that stuff that works together. So you have to have mobility, stability to develop that strength. So we get started with the neck, just nice and easy with a couple of neck rolls. And remember, if you have a restriction, you find yourself really tight, don't force that into extra range of motion. You're just going to hurt yourself. Recognize where it is. If you can stay there for a second and stretch a little bit more, great. But don't make yourself go into a painful position. Get a couple of neck rolls. And remember, if you hear a little crunching, Rice Krispie stuff when you do that, as long as it's not associated with pain, that's okay. That's fluid moving and the joints moving together. That's normal. Okay. Start with some shoulder circles, big circles to the front, and big circles to the back. And make sure when you do that you're not poking your head forward and back. Nice and tall, just warming up those shoulders. Okay, and then little circles. You can do hands straight, palms up to put a little extra stress and activation on the forearms, forwards and backwards. Okay, we do little hugs where you try and reach around, and I usually cross over one. You're trying to reach around the back of your shoulders, open up, reach around. If you think about the swimmers, they do that a lot before they get on their starting blocks. They reach around and reach back, and they slap themselves in the back, just trying to loosen everything up there. Get a couple of those. And then we do grabbing the fingers, pushing away and trying to round the back out. Pretend like I'm trying to pull your hands forward with your hands together like this. Good stretch and working on that shoulder blade, working out and back, out and back, like that. Reach up overhead. You can pull sideways. You can actually grab your wrist, pull over, stretching that shoulder, stretching the lat, working that shoulder joint both directions, pulling up and over. And don't just let your elbow sag and pull over. You want to think about pulling up and over. You're pulling up and over something to get your arm up over there. Nice and easy, back and forth. And then I like to get in a staggered stance and swing my arms like an exaggerated sprinter. So trying to reach up as far as you can and reach back as far as you can, and switching and kind of throwing those back and forth like that. Get on the other side and do it. And being in a staggered stance like that, it allows your body to turn a little bit and add a little rotation one way versus the other. So that's why I like to do that on both sides. Then we move on down to the ground and work on some shoulder scapula presses. So just kind of sink down, let those shoulder blades squeeze together, and then round up, really push. Try and roll those shoulders apart, trying to push your spine up to the ceiling. Sag down and up and down, back and forth like that to work those. I like to work the fixing your hands on the ground, turning your wrists and elbows, trying to turn your elbows forward. So I'm trying to turn my elbow forward and then turn it around as far as I can backwards. That's rolling the shoulder joint inside up here to put a little extra mobility through there, get a little extra stretch, activation that way. Back and forth. You can bend the elbows, straighten the elbows, kind of corkscrew, bend and push out, straighten and turn in, back and forth like that. And we've got a little variation of thread the needle where you keep one hand down, reach the other hand through, pretend like I'm over here trying to pull you this way, reaching. So we're working both sides, working the middle of the back, the thoracic spine, working this arm, trying to pull this way, stretching this one, that I'm here, and then come up and try and reach up and around and back down, back up. We can modify that and then switch sides, reach under, back up and around. Nice and easy. A couple times that way. And then working on a child's pose where you get down, sit back on the heels, really reach those arms forward, try and drop your head down, sink your chest down to stretch the back of the shoulders. You can work on shifting side to side. So you're working sides of the shoulders. Being here, you can roll one arm over, roll the other arm back and forth. Really feel that stretch. Work those shoulders, trying to work through a full range of motion. Just a quick little warm up. Shoulders, upper part of your back should feel nice and warmed up. Get you ready for any of your upper body lifts you're going to do. Bicep curls, tricep kickbacks, overhead presses, bench press, any of those things. This is just a good general warm up to do. If you get into those activities, you still feel a little tight and stiff, do a couple more of those before you start to get into your main lifts. So give this a try. Let me know what you think. Thanks.